Welcome to Digital Asset News, where we take the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down into bite-sized pieces. Before we start the video, let's do a little housekeeping. First of all, this is for entertainment purposes only. It is not to be meant for any type of financial advice. And second, if you could do me a favor, do the channel a favor, and please click on that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel tremendously when the first people, or the second person, or the 100th or 1,000th person hits that like button, and we supremely appreciate it. Thank you for watching. So let's get into it. First story, LIBRA contributed to governments taking crypto industry seriously. Also, Bankofamerica likes XRP, and Binance US is looking to list Tron Tezos through a valuation process for listing, plus many others. So let's get into it. First off, LIBRA, everybody's favorite cryptocurrency, or most hated. If you love it or hate it, it's here and we have to deal with it anyhow. So the thing about LIBRA is that this is a Facebook cryptocurrency. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Facebook is involved in everything these days, and they have a serious problem with data breach. So the most valuable asset on the planet right now is data. And unfortunately, Facebook has a real problem with safeguarding your data. So if they have a problem with your data, I can only imagine the problems they could potentially have with your financial industry, your finances, your money, your credit, and everything else related to that. But, however, they seem to want to push forward because they are a titan of industry, and it seems like they can do no wrong. However, Congress had hauled them into court many times, or hauled them into hearings to ask about this. And the problem with Facebook is that they have caused havoc with the election process in the United States. So congressmen, congresswomen, and senators look at Facebook as part of the evil axis, in my opinion. But love it or hate it, in an exclusive interview with media outlet Coinmetrics, Nick Carter claimed that the social media company has made a huge miscalculation with the LIBRA project. Carter claimed that the proposition put forward by Facebook, which translated into the creation of a global currency through a messaging platform, had certain shortcomings. He talks about LIBRA thought it was going to have this reserve, and we're going to fill it with all these foreign currencies and a little bit of dollars. Obviously, that's going to offend Congress because the dollar is like 70% of all international trade. And that's the problem with LIBRA. They want to get into finances, and they want to dictate what could be a world currency. And the problem with that is that governments do not like that. And that's why governments across the world are looking to develop their own digital asset, and they're not going to play ball with LIBRA. They're not going to play ball with Facebook, but time will tell. We will see. Moving on. Banks are finally getting into the game. Bank of America applauds Ripple's innovation cross-border solution, or XRP. In a move, the article states, in a move that will undeniably excite the XRP army, which I am a part of, Bank of America recently acknowledged that Ripple's cross-border solution is innovative and praised it in a report. As per the bank, Ripple's global payment solution works perfectly as a cross-border treasury payment solution, foreign exchange market maker, and cross-border treasury receipt solution. Bank of America also noted 4 potential benefits of Ripple's cross-border payment solution: simplified correspondent banking model, transparency in payments, a possible way to provide liquidity in the United States, and potentially reducing investigation and repairs. Look, if you've ever had to pay anyone across a country, across borders, you know how, not that it's super difficult, but in today's age, when I can send an email or I can teach a class to anywhere, any person in the world within seconds, to have finances take 2 to 3 days, and to maybe it shows up, maybe it doesn't, and then to have the fees, which are ridiculous. Let's take a look here. So this is the fee table for Western Union, and if you don't know how cross-border payments work, essentially the banks, they have to pre-fund every single bank account, and the problem is that banks in different countries don't like each other. Not they don't like each other, they just don't trust each other. So what they say is, if you want to play ball in Bulgaria, you're going to have to pre-fund it with dollars or whatever type of monetary unit is Bulgaria or Philippines or Albania or wherever else. So they have to fund all these different banks, and they have to do different hops. So if you're from the United States like I am, and you want to pay somebody in Russia or Senegal or wherever, you have to take 3 to 10 different hops across different various banks that are all pre-funded, and there has to be checks and balances along the way, and those fees add up. And you can see right here, let's take a look at Russia, the very bottom here. $2,500 to $3,000 if you want to send that. That is $70 just to do that. $70. That's a big chunk of money if you are strapped for cash. Not only if you're in the United States, let's say you're somebody from Africa and you want to send $100. Well, now you have to spend like $15, $10 for that. That's 10%, 15% of the total transaction. That's ridiculous in this day and age. And that is what I believe contributes to the world's, how would you say this? The world's poverty, really. They are unbankable people, and that's the problem. So XRP is going to fix this problem, have a better solution, and transactions are pennies on the dollar. So I will sign up for that. And I think Bank of America and all the banks across the world are looking at this and saying, wow, if I can save that much money, I will do it. And if you're not a business owner, if you're an employee, or whatever you are, it doesn't matter. I own a couple businesses, and I can tell you right now, if I'm looking at a cost savings and I can save 10%, 20%, I will probably do it, especially if it's easier, faster, and cheaper. So I don't see a reason why the banks, and especially the governments moving forward, won't fall into XRP. It makes absolutely no sense. Why would you keep something that is slower and more expensive when you have the opportunity to use something that could save you a lot of money and a lot of time? So that's why I'm very bullish on XRP. Anyhow, moving forward, the Bank of America put out a report, and this is part of the report. I'm going to link it into the description below. But you can see that they took a lot of time just to talk about the way that things work today as far as cross-border payments, and it looks very convoluted, very tedious, different places, different parts, and it can only go in a linear boom, 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 one bank to a next bank to a next bank type of model. However, with on-demand liquidity, you can see how these things, there's different options, and how it can save a lot of time and a lot of money. So I'm going to leave that, I'm going to link that in the description below. You can take a look. But pretty interesting that Bank of America took this much time to put this report out. And last up, Binance US puts Tron Tezos through evaluation process for listing. So if you don't know, Binance had to break down their exchange from their global and their US because the United States is falling behind on cryptocurrency and digital asset regulation. So they had to create Binance US. So Binance US, as it first came out on September 18th, 2019, they started with trading pairs of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and USDT. Now, moving forward, it later grew to 19 different cryptocurrencies, everything from Cardano to whatever else. I don't use it, Binance US. Even though I live in the US, I still can't use Binance US because I live in the state of Texas. And if you live in the state of Texas and numerous other states, you can't even get on this crypto exchange, which is pretty ridiculous, you would think. The United States is supposed to be the land of the free, but apparently that doesn't apply to financial resources. So if you live in Texas or different other states, check with Binance first to see if you're able to even get on their platform if you wanted to, because chances are you're not going to get on. But moving forward, in the post, the exchange suggests that its decision to expand its list of supported tokens is born out of the need to have the most diverse selection of high-quality digital assets without high fees. The tokens currently being considered are Seller Network, never heard of it. Decred, used to own it. Engine Coin, used to own it. Phantom, Icon, IOST, Komodo, Omisego, used to own that. Harmony, Ontology, used to own that. Ren, Status, Theta, Tomo Chain, Tron, I used to own that junk. Nem, and Tezos. And there's this new one called Hedera Hashgraph. I'm not familiar with this one, but apparently it's very unique in the way it does things. It's the first hash graph cryptocurrency, so I want to look into this a little bit more. Not that I will invest into it. I have my 6, and these are my ponies that I'm going to bet on, and that is pretty much it. But they're a hash graph, something to look into. I've heard a couple of different people on Twitter talk about this as how it could be the next great thing, but who knows? We're in a speculative asset, and who knows what is the next great thing. So guys, thanks for listening to a couple of these rants in the news today. I want to say thank you for listening to the whole video. Very grateful. And if you could, please hit that like button if this helped you learn some more things about cryptocurrency and digital assets. And if you would also subscribe to the channel. It helps it a lot, helps us with the algorithm. And if you have anything to comment, please post below. I'm going to ask a question, which is, do you believe that Bank of America is the next bank to start using XRP? I'm going to put that question below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Noah! Larry, what the hell are you... Larry! Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did...
Larry! Righto, what's going on here?
Oh, sir, I'm arrested. Oh, oh. Oh, arrest... Oh.
The slap.